Welcome, Aquarius. This is your weekly Taroscope reading for July the 25th through to the 31st, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you truly for all of the loving, supportive, positive energy that you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you, wishing for joys, happiness, success to be yours on your path forward. So let's see where the energy is going to be and how we can maneuver through it for a very successful week going forward. And our first card is, oh, look at that, the success card. So that's a very good card to start any reading with. The Knight of Wands is our second card. The Two of Pentacles is the third. And then to cross over the Knight of Wands, we have the Two of Swords, so decisions to be made. Okay, interesting. So the Six of Wands is our first card, talking about our success forward. It does matter about the people in our lives, the other people in our lives, the people that we come in contact with. And we are in full armor here, so we know that we have a ways to go, that this is only the beginning of our journey. We cannot rest on our laurels here. This is a time to go forward. Okay, now, I think people are very important, so have conversations, reach out to people, take the time if people are reaching out to you. They want you to succeed. These are people that want you to succeed. They're rooting for you. They are in your corner. And they may not even know it yet when they first meet you if it's a new acquaintance, but the people that you meet this week and the people you talk to this week can really push you forward in the right direction. Now we have the Knight of Wands with the Two of Swords crossing over it. Now the Knight of Wands is typically looking into our past and understanding the lessons we walked through and the wisdom that we took from it. So something in your path probably this week, because it is like our second and fourth card, is going to demand that you make a decision to go forward and how you were going to make that decision. And you've kind of walked through this kind of energy before, and you've made some decisions in the past. People ask me, you know, like, well, I walked through this experience, but I really don't think I got any wisdom out of it. So if you walk through a past experience and you start questioning it, you start saying, well, why didn't I have that conversation? Why did I put myself in that situation? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? That's your wisdom. That's showing you new options that you really didn't think were on the table at the time when you made that last decision. So it is first and foremost understanding the wisdom that is now available to you so that we are not renewing an old pattern. But more importantly, we are blindfolded in this decision-making process, which means that we cannot attach ourselves to what we see or what we hear as much as we need to attach ourselves to our intuition, our higher wisdom, our internal thinking, and how it makes us feel. So we need to think of the decision that needs to be made, and we need to think, okay, so what if I make this decision? What happens? Now, pay attention to your body. Is your heart starting to race? Are you getting stressed out? Are you close to a panic attack? Are you feeling joyous, comfortable, happy? And then think of it through new sets of eyes and, you know, say, well, what if I did this instead? And pay attention again to how your body feels. Now, if you've had something like fear, okay, be careful of that one, because fear can motivate us to make some decisions that aren't in our best interest. So if you hit fear, then you need to take it one level deeper and say, okay, so what am I really fearful of? And don't shy away from it. Look it in the eye. Understand what you are afraid of, what might happen, what situation might occur, what can become of that, what action plan can you have if that happens. So it's not a black and white decision-making process when that's in play. It's more of going through the layers and understanding it in depth so that you have a firm understanding, a firm grasp, and your decision is strong and it is clear. Now we have the Two of Pentacles on the other side, which tells me that there is some kind of imbalance in your life. It's good imbalances. You are pushing yourself in too much of one direction. Okay? We need to have a balance in our life, in our daily routines, when it comes to our relationships, when it comes to our friendships, when it comes to our spirituality, our home life, our working life, our life within the community. And if we are putting all of our energy into one main area of our life, the other areas of our life have to suffer. So we really need to examine our routines and see where we are putting a lot of energy. Are we getting the right value back for the energy, or maybe it's time, or maybe it's resources that we're giving to a situation or a part of our life? And now look at where we aren't putting in energy. Now, can we take from the one to add to the other so that we are living a more balanced life going forward? That's really, truly very important this week because it's one of your very first cards. Now, our underlying energy is Temperance, so we want a balance to come in. Or we will be shown things in order to walk in a certain direction so that the balance naturally occurs in our life. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to the conversations you're having. Because a lot of that is going to lean towards how to instill a balance in your life going forward. How to feel. And, we have that imbalance here. It probably has a lot to do with routine. So the more we are thinking about how we play out our daily routine and where we put a lot of our energy will also allow us to understand where the balance is needed most in our life. For our overriding energy, we have the Tower. Now, I had the Tower for one other reading this weekend, and I got a real negative feeling. I didn't feel that at all when I picked up this card. So what is changing in your world? What is being unique, different, exciting? Embrace it with open arms. It is moving you in the right direction. It is for your higher good. There is like this old part of you falling away. Maybe you built a wall to protect yourself in some way. It's no longer needed. That wall can now be dismantled. It can dissipate. The true you can come forth. You don't need that wall of protection anymore. You don't need those boundaries or those rules or those guidelines. So there's something in your life right now that it's outdated. It's not needed in your life. You don't need that form of protection anymore. You don't need to have that rule in your life in order to protect yourself going forward. So it's probably something that will also start to hold you back, or has been holding you back now for a little while, because I think it's going to be very clear what it is that you really need to have new eyes on the perception of what that is really doing to your life. When we have especially traumatic experiences in our life, right, we build walls very quickly to protect ourselves. Okay, it's a survival instinct. It's supposed to be there. It's put there to protect us. But every so often we have to look at the walls that are built up around us and ask ourselves if we still need that wall there, or if we can safely manage going forward without that wall in place, that it might actually hinder us in some way. We have the Page of Swords. I want to see who she's with, actually. I want to see who her partner is, and it's the Star. Huh. You might feel like doing something uniquely different, taking a chance on yourself, taking a chance on an opportunity. Okay, with the Star card, this is our dreams, our desires, our goals. And here we are at the bottom, and we are reaching out to it, which means we can see it. We can see the path forward. We can see that it's tangible. Usually I warn against the Page of Swords, because she's kind of a knee-jerk energy. She's spontaneous, that's for sure. But you might have to do something a little bit different and a little bit unique in order to actually go forward towards your dreams this week. I mean, yeah, I'm always going to caution you to think things through, and since we have a major decision to make, it might be in work and career where we'll need to think things through, but it's like you have this maybe lightning bolt idea, or you have this conversation with somebody that just opens your eyes to a new way of doing or a new way of being, or something comes to you through the conversation, or you overhear a conversation that just kind of throws you into a whole new ball game, a new way of thinking, a new way of doing, in order to go forward in your dreams and your desires. Yeah, we have the Fool, the very next card. New paths opening up to us, brand new paths. And with this card, yeah, it takes a little bit of a risk to take that very first step, to believe in ourselves enough, to believe maybe in our talents and abilities enough to actually go forward. And the Fool is coupled with judgment. Okay, so we need to use a little bit of sound judgment here. We do need to think things through. I was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit more of a think things through, because I never want to just tell you to just, jump into it. Hopefully, you go with the current, you pop up somewhere and you're okay. We don't want that. The judgment card here says that we do need to think it through somewhat. We need to use our good judgment. We can't base our whole path forward on a sentence that we overheard. We have to research it. We have to understand the implications of going forward in that direction. We need to use good judgment, sound judgment, realistic judgment when we are going forward. For work and career, we have the Empress. So once again, brand new beginnings, creative beginnings. So if you are a creative person, if you write, or if you invent, or if you, we can be creative in any area of our life. If you make planters, this is the week where you're going to design a planter that nobody's really thought of before and just settle unbelievably cool. If you paint, if you're a carpenter, if you're a cook, if you're a gardener, this is where the unique beginnings begin. Creative beginnings. She's also a diplomat, so we think it through, but we act through love. We act through usually the love of ourselves, realizing our potential and following it through. So that's beautiful to have in work, career, and money, because it is igniting beautiful new creative beginnings in your life. For love, relationships, we have the King of Wands. Well, there's an optimism, definitely an optimism when this card comes about. In our thinking, we have high thinking. So maybe it's being creative in our relationships that matter. Maybe it's giving it new spark. If you're looking for a relationship, chances are they have to be intelligent. They have to carry on a conversation. They have to think outside the box in order for you to have a true conversation with them this week. So, but it's high thought. It's education. So maybe you guys decide to take a course together. Maybe you decide to attend a lecture together. Maybe, something along those lines. Something to spark your imagination. Something to grow your thoughts. And there's an optimism here, so I think relationships, for the most part, are very good this week. And it's high thought. It's high thought of how you can make the relationship better, of how you can bring yourselves to a deeper level. If you're looking for a relationship, well, it could happen and work with the Empress there. But we have the Empress, we have the Fool. So there is a very good chance that you will meet somebody new. There's an optimism here. Keep it light. Keep it happy. Have those conversations. I can see almost like philosophical conversations, or conversations where you kind of grow on each other's ideas, and before you know it, you've come up with a new invention, or maybe a new game, like maybe like Pokemon Go or something like that, right? That's where everything's an idea once, right? And through partnerships and talking to somebody, and we're bouncing ideas off of each other, and we're having fun doing it. We're growing our relationship closer by melting our minds together, and new ideas can form, new ways of doing things, inventing things, creating things can happen with this energy. So maybe they spark your creativity, maybe you spark their creativity, but in one way or another, through communication, through talking, I almost kind of see like you're going to something to expand your mind together. Okay, and then there's so much to talk about because of what you took in through that lecture or that seminar. So, and you could actually meet somebody in high thought kind of place. So, schools, libraries, courtrooms, anywhere where you would think high thinking. That is where there could be somebody to meet, absolutely. Or in the workplace. That could be one and the same, couldn't it? So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.